Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Healthy Happy Hour. Today, we're going to be making a 3-bean chili. You know, the days are getting shorter as far as our time till it gets dark, put it that way. And it's starting to get a little cooler, so we thought chili would be a great thing. Before we do that, I want to tell you something Debbie and I found. Look at this. It's called Carb Diem. Like per diem, per day, Carb Diem. And it is almost zero carbs, 55% less carbs. This is elbow macaroni. This is their spaghetti version. And we already did their what version? The
Rotini.
Rotini, yeah, or something. Anyway, we ordered those, and that has to come from Amazon. Hopefully we can get Quality Foods to start carrying it. The thing is, it's made out of sea kelp. Can you believe that?
But it tastes just like noodles.
Tastes, and it adheres the sauces to it. It tastes just like regular pasta.
110 calories of a serving.
So we'll be telling you more about that. We'll make some spaghetti one of these days and do that. But tonight it's chili time. And we're going to be using one of our final packs of deer sausage, actually, I'm using in this. When Mr. Dorman, he makes this, he doesn't put a lot of sage or anything in it. So it's just well-seasoned deer meat. So we're going to be putting that in and letting that start to brown. And while that's going on, we want to make sure to get our onions in there as well. I've got one onion here, and I'm just going to quarter it. And I'm going to put it through my dicer. Get that out of the way. By the way, we're brought to you by Quality Foods. All of these things that you see here that we're using today can come from Quality Foods, not the per diem noodles. We're not using those today. But all of these things came from Quality Foods. We'll be showing you some of those brands as we go along.
Gene Halford is watching.
Hey, Lanny, man, I was telling Lanny about wearing my Letterman's jacket, my band jacket to the game Friday night. That was kind of cool. I felt kind of odd after I left the game and went by Ingles. An old man walking around in a Letterman's jacket looks kind of crazy, but it looked good at the game.
Gwen Vaughn is watching.
Hey, Gwen, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, last Friday night was our last home game in Stevens County, and it was senior night, and 54 years ago on senior night, I received my band jacket, my senior Letterman's jacket for band. And so I took the opportunity. I can still get in it thanks to our healthy diet. So I was able to wear it on Friday night and enjoy some time there. When I told the band members and the cheerleaders that we interviewed that I got that 54 years ago, they didn't seem to be that enthralled about that. But anyway, that meant something to me anyhow. So we're going to let our onions cook along with our hamburger, well, deer. And I'm going to make sure that deer browns well, so I want to get all the clumps taken up. And if you're a watcher of this program regularly, you know that I like to use a regular old potato masher in that. And tonight, since we're doing a lot of beans and a lot of things, we're using our Dutch oven tonight for this particular purpose. So we'll be using the Dutch oven for tonight's part of this. As a matter of fact, it's a one-pot dish. We're going to be
good. David Cash is watching.
David, yeah. I talked to Fred Lodge on Sunday. You know, he is on the other side of the family, David, from Danny Meeks and Martha. He's the other in-law. And they had gone down to see Danny last week, and that they are doing he's doing very well, better than people thought he would. So I'm tickled that we know that about Danny Meeks surviving his brain surgery that they had to do on him.
How many cloves of garlic are you using?
I'm putting 4 cloves in. I think the recipe calls for 3, but we like garlic, so. And a couple of these, as you see, these next 2, I'm going to mince them together because they're kind of small. So it's 3, 4, or as the kids say today, 6, 7 cloves of garlic. So it just depends on what they got going on.
What is that all about?
It's like 25 or 6 to 4 if you go back into the 70s days. It's,
okay.
So they say 6, 7 like in either 6 or 7. So to put it in our parlance from back in the 70s, 25 or 6 to 4. It'd be like 5, 6.
Chicago.
Yeah, if you did it that way. So anyway, so we're going to let that hang out and get kind of healthy in there as well. We're just going to brown that and let the garlic and the onion start to take effect as far as the seasoning goes. We want this cooked well before we start putting other things in. You know, if you start putting tomatoes and all that in, you have to simmer things for hours and hours and hours for this to cook. So why not go ahead and cook it off right now? brown it and cook it, and then when you put the other things in, you don't have to let it simmer so long.
Roger Murray and Linda Ewing.
Roger, Linda Ewing, yeah.
Watching.
Well, we appreciate that. By the way, for all you folks watching that have been on our Optavia plan, we've got a brand new plan now that deals with metabolism. We even provide you with a free metabolic scale so that you can get that metabolism boosted. It's a whole brand new thing. It's all part of Optavia, but it's new. Prices have been reduced. Shipping is now, you don't have to worry about those $29.95 or $48 crazy shipping things. Everybody pays $7.95 shipping no matter what, and that's it. Doesn't matter if you order one box, you pay $7.95 shipping. If you order $400 worth, you pay $7.95 shipping. So we are excited about that. It gives you a lot more flexibility. And if you're like us, I put on 25 pounds back in May. We did a cruise in February, and then we followed it up with a week-long all-inclusive at a place where they just have tons of restaurants and tons of bars and everything, and it's all included in the price. I put on 25 pounds, so I had to get it back off. So I've done a pretty good job of getting that off. Want to get a little bit more back off. You know, when I initially started this program, I lost 120 pounds in 9 months. And everybody told me, you're too thin, including Debbie. She said, you're too thin. You got to do something about that. And my doctor chimed in and she said, you have got to put on some weight. She said, you're about 20 pounds too light. She said, once you get past 50, and I'm well past 50, you need to have about 20 pounds more than what those recommended things are on the chart. She said, you need that little bit of insurance, I guess.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I have some insurance now.
I have too.
And,
It's
I'm
unwanted
going to reduce my
insurance.
policy just a little bit more. By the way, thanks to the folks at Quality Foods. I think I mentioned them already. We've got all of our brand name stuff here. The Food Club, that's one of the brands they sell at Quality Foods. This is our tomatoes. They're going to go in next. Here's also tomato paste, and the reason I've got this in a jar is I like to poke the bottom out and the top out. I'll push it out in the pan that way, so we'll be ready to go with it. Also from Food Club, we have our 3 beans, going to be black beans, another one of their brands, That's Smart. These were a dime cheaper, than the Food Club were. So That's Smart pinto beans, and we have the That's Smart kidney beans. All those going in, plus 3 tablespoons of chili powder. It wouldn't be chili without chili powder. We've got paprika, we've got cumin, and of course black pepper and salt, and we may have to adjust that depending on taste as we get toward the end. But we're just about ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Sure
this
are.
is looking good right now. From now on, all we have to do is just let things get up to a simmer as we pour them in. So in goes 1 can of tomatoes. And, you know, we used to raise those. We call them tomatoes, the little bitty, little.
The tomatoes.
Yeah, we used to call them tomatoes, the little bitty ones, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We used to make those. Mama would make tomato sauce. She'd make tomato sauce and things like that out of them. And we called them tomatoes back in the day. I think they call them. What do they call them?
Tomatoes.
No, they call them little bit cherry tomatoes or grape tomatoes.
Yeah.
But Mama called them tomatoes. All right, so we're going to let that simmer. We just want those tomatoes to just get up to temperature. They're going to excrete. They're going to secrete a little bit of juice, so we want them to get up to normal. So we're going to let that happen. While that's happening, let me tell you about the beans. I have drained these beans. You don't want to use the beans in their liquid, but you don't want to rinse them. You just want to drain them. So the beans will go in just a minute. Right now I'm going to put in the tomato paste, and as I mentioned, I've cut the bottom out of this, so I'll use the bottom to push from, and I'll slide it down into my Dutch oven, and I'll take this spoon and I'll get out every bit of it. Anne Burrell, she was one of those chefs on television on the Food Network, and she always talked about use every bit of food there is. Don't waste anything. Scrub everything out. And you know, she passed away a couple of months ago from apparently self-inflicted, and that was very hard to hear. Sure hated that. I don't know what was going on in her life, but I sure hate that fact. So Debbie and I have talked many times about Robin Williams. You just don't know what's going on in somebody's life. They can put on a good front, and
Seem to be happy
things be
and
falling apart. You know,
Yeah.
get some help if you're in that position. Please, please, please. We're going to go ahead and put our black beans in now. So the black beans will go in. There's no particular order on the beans. They're all going in about the same time. Pinto beans are going in. You can use chili beans. Chili beans aren't really a bean. It's a mixture of several different ones. That's what chili beans are. Tell them what Eric used to say when he was a kid.
kidney beans.
Kidney beans going in now. And my favorite tool when I was a little boy, I called it a super ladle. But my favorite of all times, I used to walk with Frances Buchanan, Dr. Buchanan's wife, downtown. And we did that for 14 years, every day downtown, and we walked together. And I thought what Frances used to say when she was a little kid was so cute. Instead of calling it a helicopter, she called it a hell of a copter. Like, that just takes the cake.
Everybody's
right
got
there.
one of these
Yeah,
stories.
but I think that the hell of a copter just takes the cake. In goes a cup of chicken broth, beef broth. We're going to also put our paprika in. And Bobby Flay says it correctly. It's paprika, not paprika, like we say it. I always made fun of him saying it that way, and then I found out he's the only one doing it right. Paprika. Now the chili powder goes in. And again, can't have chili without chili powder. Did you know, and I learned this off of young Sheldon, real chili doesn't have beans in it.
Ah.
It's just tomatoes and beef. But
Or tomatoes.
it's hard to have 3-bean chili without having beans. And then salt and pepper. And that's just like a half teaspoon of each. We'll monitor that as we go along. So we're just going to stir all this in and let it all get up to a good simmer. And really, that's about all you have to do. Once it gets up to a simmer, you know that all the beans are heated throughout. Now, you can let this sit on the stove on low for 2 or 3 hours, whatever you want to do. Basically, all it's going to do at that point is just reduce the liquid in it. Mm-hmm. Everything's cooked. Everything's ready to go. Once it starts simmering all the way around, then you're in good shape. Now, let's talk about how we're going to garnish. We're going to garnish with a little light sour cream, low-fat sour cream, also some low-fat cheddar cheese, some low-fat mozzarella cheese, and we're going to put a wedge of lime that we're going to put on each bowl. And we're going to put some scallions, the whites and the greens. So I'm just going to take those and chop them up. So have you gotten over the trip to New England?
Yeah, I have.
I tell you what, that was a lot of fun. I was talking to some folks Monday night about visiting with the Amish and how cool that was. By the way, this is my Amish spoon that I got. What happened, sweetheart?
Got something on the rug.
Oh, there's my Amish spoon that's made out of walnut and handmade. I mean, you can feel the ridges in it where they hand carved that. It wasn't done on any kind of a lathe. It's amazing that the Amish can have cell phones as long as they go outside on their porch to answer them. They can't answer them inside the house.
Well, that's strange.
And even though cell phones have, even though they can have phones, they can't have anything coming to their house that has a wire.
Oh, I see.
So they can't have, they could go outside and use an iPad on the internet, but they can't have a computer inside that has to be plugged in or, and then we found out that a lot of people do have things that are plugged in. They'll have generators, and they had one girl they told us about that she was on a ventilator, and they got special permission from
whoever
the Amish person is, to have electricity run to their house for that special thing, but they could only run the ventilator off of it.
Cherie's on, but she says she's watching, but she can't see anything.
Can't see anything. Cherie, goodness. We got video on our end. I don't know. I don't understand. Maybe you can't see me. Hi. Hey, Cherie. All right, so we're going to turn that down to low. Matter of fact, we can go ahead and turn that off because we are ready to plate. Get our first one out. Let me get my super ladle. Boy, doesn't that look meaty and hearty? Two good
for a cold
half-cup
night.
Scoops of that. And we're going to top it with a bit of sour cream. And we're also going to take some cheddar cheese and put on that side. And some reduced fat mozzarella cheese and put it on that side. And garnish with a little bit of spring onion or scallions or green onion or whatever you want to call them. They go by several different names.
And then lime.
There it is. Oh, and our wedge of lime, yeah. Thank you, sweetheart, for reminding me of that. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. 3-bean chili. If you like the video, I'll send you the recipe. Pretty simple. And remember, everything comes from Quality Food, so get it in the Town Plaza Shopping Center. We will see you next week, and maybe we'll surprise you and make something out of sea kelp.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Have a great night.